I also know I'm the second-class citizen here, even below the judge, because you got a Starbucks upon entering, and our executive producer went down to get you a Starbucks, not even thinking that I might need it.
Would you like me to buy you a cup of coffee?
No, that's taunting me right now. But Ann, is it true? What did you get? What did you choose? What does Ann Coulter choose to drink? Should they see you at a Starbucks?
Well, if I'd known he was going to Starbucks, it would have been one of those free drinks like you put it in an order for, Brian.
I have a pumpkin spice latte with an extra shot, and people think that's not masculine.
It's very macho. Don't listen to them.
Good. All right, so this election cycle, this entire thing, Ron Paul exposed yesterday. First off, why is he getting so much money?
I am dying to know if these are left-wing nuts or right-wing nuts, because I do think he's magnificent on domestic policy, magnificent on the life issue, but the Neville Chamberlain policy in a world with airplanes and angry Muslims, not such a good idea.
Okay, Muslims.
The Gulf Intercoastal Waterway, $32 million. The sunken ship you want to remove from Freeport Harbor, the Bayou Navigation Channel. They talk about $8 million for shrimp fishermen. Why would you load up?
You got it completely wrong. I've never voted for an earmark in my life.
No, but you put them in the bill.
I put them in because I represent people who are asking for some of their money back. But it doesn't cut any spending to vote against the earmark. And the Congress has the responsibility to spend the money. Why leave the money in the executive branch and let them spend the money?
That's like saying you voted for it before you voted against it.
Come on, Tim. That has nothing to do with
that.
You
put it in the bill and get the headlines.
No, I make the request. If they're not in the bill.
Then you know it's going to pass Congress, and see, you don't refuse the money.
All mixed up.
Well,
you're confused.
It's all facts.
You're confused.
So that's it. A bit of hypocrisy there. He was nailed. He was totally nailed.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think it's a fair point he's making.
Whose?
Ron Paul.
So
if the pie is going to be so big, I mean, he definitely wants the pie to be smaller, but if the pie is going to be as big as it is, yeah, he's going to fight to get his slice for his district bigger. I actually do think he's great on domestic policy and the life issue, but I hesitate to say that because he's insane on national events. We're not going to have a country if we follow the Neville Chamberlain policy.
This is your theory that if we lose all power in New York City again and everyone starts looting, why can't I take one flat screen? They were going to just go to the bad guys anyway. Listen, I don't steal, but if they're going to be sitting there, why should I give it to a criminal? That is my analogy, and it's brilliant.
Brian, you're right.
Thank you very much.
No, stealing is stealing. The flat screen TV might not have been stolen. This is he does put his money where his mouth is in trying to reduce the size of government and vote against the spending overall.
He's been exposed. Let's go to Paris, France, where Anne likes to vacation. Ellie, you're on Brian and the Judge.
Well, have a happy day. No.
What, are you worried about saying Merry Christmas? I might be offended. No. Don't worry about that with me.
I really don't know what to say to you because, as a large majority of us here think you're the devil. So,
are you an American in France, or are you a French person in France?
I'm a Frenchman in France who speaks American.
Okay.
Well, not that well, apparently.
What about the progress in Iraq, Ellie?
Progress in Iraq, yeah. I was thinking, a lot of us here are thinking that Al-Qaeda is just sitting low and waiting for the American elections in 2008 and just waiting to hit America again, unfortunately.
Could be.
Does that concern Ann or does that concern you?
Absolutely, because 9 months into President Bush's term, they executed a plan that was hatched years before, and we know from 93 to 2001 was a long time.
And the exact same thing. I mean, it's hard to say there's a pattern from two examples of it, but both attacks on the World Trade Center, the 1993 bombing, which, by the way, almost brought it down, oddly enough.
And Clinton never came to even visit, but that's a story we don't want to get into.
That was his first year of office, and 2001 was Bush's first year of office. So, like I say, it's hard to say there's a pattern from two.
Kenny, you're in Houston, Texas. You're on Brian and the Judge, Ken.
I love you, Ann.
Thank you.
And your show.
You're much better than that poofty boy from Paris. I guess the good ones got killed in World War II.
I challenge Fox News to do some specials to put out the good news. Y'all are the leader in cable news, by far.
Kenny, I agree. I'm very disappointed we don't do more in Iraq. People have tuned it out. I hope we change policies in 2008 8, it really bothers me. I can't defend it. It bothers me every day. It bothers me every day we don't do more
Fox
over there.
doesn't do a bad job at that. The first half of the Brit Hume show every night, though, I think you could make it a little more scintillating. You have Oliver North's war stories, but I do think you need the stories of heroism, the ones that make girls cry. That's what we want to hear.
All right, the ones that make girls cry. Kenny, thanks for the call. And
Hey, this is Fox.
Fred Thompson, real quick.
No, I'm glad you asked that, because one point I think can't be made often enough. People are always citing Ronald Reagan's 11th commandment, thou shalt not attack another Republican. That's after the primary. He viciously attacked Gerald Ford. He ran against Gerald Ford. He got Gerald Ford's, campaign in a tizzy. Anyway, the reason
And then he refused to campaign for Gerald Ford.
Right. I don't care for Fred Thompson. The reason I'm not attacking him much is that he's not doing so well. The reason I'm attacking Huckabee is that the Iowa caucus is in a few weeks, and I want Christians to pay attention. He's not one of us.
The two talk radio hosts running America.
I'm addicted to Brian and the Judge.
On Fox News Talk.